Good morning, good morning. We're back again, the start of a new trading week. So today's Monday. I'm just gonna give a market outlook. I may enter some trades today, I may not enter some trades today, but what's important is that we have the outlook for the week so that at least when you take your trades, you kind of have an idea of where the market's going, right? So let's just start with the dollar. So from last week, I've been speaking about this quite a lot, that the dollar is forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern. And we got the bottom of the shoulder right here. So if you look at this, there's the shoulder, and now we can see price making its way to the upside, right? It's currently past previous resistance level, which is this zone right here. It's above, it's given some sort of smaller time retest, you can say. And now I'm expecting the dollar to go to the upside, right, to touch the neckline. So since we are looking at dollar being bullish, let's move to other pairs. Euro USD, spoke about this last week, that basically this is mirroring the dollar. So we have a head and shoulder that is forming. And I just want to break it down to the lower time frame so that you can see. So we have a head and shoulder in the head and shoulder, right? So as you can see, this is now a head and shoulder, and this gives gives a very strong bearish bias, so that we can look for selling opportunities to the downside, right, to close this gap, right? So with that in mind, there's not really much for us to analyze here. I think it's very clear that Euro USD is going to probably sell this week. The interesting one is US 30. So US 30, from my previous couple of weeks ago, I've been saying that, the price basically pushed up, gave an inverse head and shoulder, pushed up. Now it's currently at previous resistance zone. And the lead up to this area was so strong, I thought that there would have been a larger correction, something much larger. But it seems like the correction was actually completed. If you look at this, if you can look at this. So now we're looking for the next impulse to the upside. Price is currently at this previous resistance zone. One key identifier to look for is if price can break and hold above this level right here. As you can see that it kind of gave a small type of correction, you can say. So US 30 today, I will be looking for a long position. I'll probably place a buy stop above here, place my stop loss just below. And the reason for the buy stop being above here, as you can see previously, as we are coming close to London Open, the price just kind of shot down looking for liquidity. So that pre-market liquidity makeup could give us the volume for London session open, basically, right? So if you look at this, we kind of have a long way until we get to the top of the channel, right? I can just switch to daily. So as you can see, we are in this uptrend, right? So we are in the uptrend, and now we are looking to complete to the upside of this, right? So since this is quite a wide area zone, it will be quite smart to not have tight stops. So even the stop loss that I've placed right here, it's like 1:9.2, which is possible if you would get a snipe entry, but seeing the need to fill this gap and previously such liquidity sweeps we have, it'd be more safer to put your initial stop loss just below this correction right here at a 1% risk. And then once the price starts moving upwards into our green zone, hashtag profit zone, and give some sort of indication that it's going to continue upwards and not just swipe down and hit all the stop losses and then continue to the upside, then we can start looking at what you call it, and adding more positions, right? So for now, I would place my entry around here. just so that the market can, so that I can see whether we're going to get a liquidity sweep or whether we're going to just continue. Once I can see that we're going to continue, then I'd probably add some more positions around here and around here. So for me, US30 is a buy for the rest of the week. So GU also on this one, spoke about this last week, that GU is forming a head and shoulder pattern. As you can see, we have a potential head and shoulder pattern. The shoulder is very thin compared to the previous one. Head and shoulder doesn't have to be equivalent. For me, I would wait for two things: either a double shoulder or break below the neckline with a continuation structure to the bottom, at which then I will be looking to enter a short position right here with my stop loss somewhere above here. And the reason for that simply is because if you look at this is quite a large time frame move. So this is a daily chart. As you can see, we have enormous opportunity for the price to just make its way to the downside. So the initial entry will always be at a low or 1% risk, and then from there, once the price is moving in our desired direction, then we'll start adding on more entries, right? But for me, I would look to enter just below this neckline break, and in the first key area zone where price could reverse is here, the second one where price could reverse is here. So if the price does break below the first key zone, if we do get the entry and we get a bounce somewhere around here, I'll wait to see the next day if we can't break below this level and then continue to the downside. So GEO for me is looking to be good for shorts. So gold, if you remember from last week, my video said that this is a potential double top area. Price is currently outside the larger time frame correction, and price is now giving a lower time frame correction. So for me, gold is still looking very bearish. So this is a key zone right here, and this is a key zone right here. Would be almost 90% of this structure that is right here, right? So I will be looking to enter a gold short position if the price can then push its way to the downside, possibly an entry around here, stop loss just above. My final target would be this area right here, but once price moves and I can see it moving to the zone, I will look for either a bounce or a break and then take it from there.